Okay, welcome. We decided to divide our podcast in two parts because it was too long. So, in this first part, we are going to talk um, about information of animes and discuss a bit. And in the second part, we are going to bring some topics and discuss them. Yeah, I really hope you like it.
Welcome to
Super Anime Brothers Ultimate.
our anime podcast.
I am Bryant.
And I am Javier. We both have been watching anime a time now, so we decided to make a podcast today. I hope you enjoy it.
Before we start, we have to talk about the main idea for podcast.
That's right. We're going to talk about what is an anime, why anime is not even similar to cartoon, anime genders, and our favorite anime. We are also going to recommend some for beginners.
So, we are going to start with a section what is anime and why is not a cartoon. I think we can answer these two at the same time. What do you think, Javier?
Of course, a cartoon is pretty obvious what it is. Everybody has watched a cartoon at some point of their life. So one example is SpongeBob SquarePants, The Simpsons, Futurama, and more. And in every episode, the cartoons tell a different story, but in anime, they only tell one main story. Eh, and the fillers. But they take a clear sequence, and in most cases, you can start by the middle or by the end of the show. You need to start by the first episode.
I also think that in many cartoons you just put a random episode and you can enjoy it. But in anime it's totally different. You have to start by the beginning, and in a few of them you can also skip some boring episodes, but usually you won't do that.
And that's why anime is not a cartoon. So let's go to the next section, which is genders.
Okay, so now the first genre we are going to talk about is fantasy. This genre is almost in every anime. It includes a world where magic or monsters exist. The genre has another subgenre called isekai, but we will talk about that more specifically later. So, Javier, what are your favorite fantasy animes and what can you tell us about that?
Whew. I don't know, I have a long list. Some animes that I can think about are Tatenajusha no Naregari, but this is one also, and Isekai. Another one that can think about is Rakuda Kishin no Cavalry. I like this anime, but this one has the curse of good animes. You will like it, but it will just have a few episodes. It will never have a second season. These are not my top favorite, but they are very good. So tell me, Brian, what's your favorite anime fantasy?
Okay, so my favorite fantasy anime is Wandering Witch. And what I like in this anime is that it is a very beautiful story, but with little things of mystery and horror things. So we now are going to talk about the subgenre fantasy, the isekai. An anime is considered isekai when the main character dies and is reincarnated or is summoned from a normal world to another world. Javier, what are your favorite isekais?
Well, I think about Tensei Shitara Slime Data Ken is a good anime. It's very enjoyable because the main protagonist was a guy. It's very funny the first episode. The man is dying and says to his friend, delete my history of the internet. Deleted. But well, he reincarnates in another world, and he's a slime. A slime that can take a human body and very powerful. Yeah, it's not like a shonen. We're going to talk about that later. But yeah, it's very good anime. Another one will be Konosubarashi's Sekai ni Shukufuku Wo. I consider this one a classic. The last one that I will mention is Isekai was smartphone to Tomoni. It's a very funny one. God killed the main character, but it was The guy was so calm, saying, "Yeah, that happens. You kill people for accident. Yeah, it does. It doesn't happen. It's not. It's
Yeah,
nothing. Just kill me. It's nothing. Oh, but I'm going to reincarnate you in another world. What would you like? My smartphone? Of anything in the universe, you want your smartphone?
That's smart.
Yes, your smartphone. Okay, so you will have free internet, and in the meanwhile that you learn magic, you will learn how to charge it. Bzz.
Very useful.
Yeah. And you will see what's happening and in this world in your smartphone, but you will not interact with them. You can message and say, "Hey, I'm in another world." No. Just that.
No, of course not.
Yeah, it's a very funny anime. I like to watch it in my free times.
Okay, so now this is my favorite isekai anime, which tells the story of a salaryman who is thrown in the rails of a train and is summoned in another world as a little girl, and the world is in war. But that war has magic, so it is very entertaining to watch. And so my next isekai is not gonna life, which I have here, but I don't recommend you watching it.
Why did you not recommend it? You see it, right? You like it.
Yes, I like it.
And why did you not recommend it?
Okay. First thing, I don't know. Okay, so the first main thing is that it only has one season, so I had to buy the novels to continue the story.
One question.
Yes.
And the novels that you bought are complete?
No, the novels are still coming out. It has 10 volumes, but between the 9 and the 10, it passed 2 years.
Oh.
Because the author had cancer, had a problem in the spine, and that was why he couldn't work. So it currently has 10 novels, and from what I am expecting, I think it is going to end in the 16 or 20 volumes. So there's a lot more years to wait.
Okay.
Okay, so my last favorite anime in the genre of isekai, but is still a very good one, is The Rising of the Shield Hero, or Tate no Yusha no Nariagari. Is this is a quest, very emotional. I think it gives you emotions of deception, happiness, sadness, and it's very good. My bro Javier has already talked about it, and I think the same a bit. And it is very good. It is an anime you must watch. Very good.
Very good anime.
I don't have the novels because there's like 20, but they are very good.
He has novels, I have manga, and I don't know if that anime has a manga.
And no, I don't think so.
No. Ah.
No. Okay. So let's continue.
Okay. So we are done with the isekai. Now we're going to talk about the mystery or thriller genre. A mystery anime always have the spectator guessing about the truth and you have the mind blows with every episode, etc. Brian, tell me some of your favorites.
The first one is Attack on Titan. The first episode, you think that there's Titans invading humanity, and you think that the protagonist is going to come to become a Titan killer, and is going to be stronger, stronger, and then the Titans are gone and the series end.
Yeah, the usual.
Yes, that is the usual thing. That is the first thing you think about Attack on Titan.
So what happens there?
It's a spoiler. And I really want everyone to watch Attack on Titan. It's very interesting, but Attack on Titan, it is not what you expect. It's very, it has a lot of
Blue.
revelations and mystery. That's why it's a mystery and thriller genre. And also it's shonen or action, but we'll talk about that genre later. And my second favorite anime with mystery and thriller genre is Steins Gate. Steins Gate, yeah. So, in Steins Gate, it tells a story about a mad scientist. Not a mad one, but I think the traduction from that is a crazy scientist. But for some reason they tell them mad scientist. So it's a mad scientist who develops accidentally a time machine with a microwave and a phone.
How do you do that? Accidentally.
Okay, so that time machine sends messages to the past, and so the word line in that series, the theory of time is that there's only one word existing, and the only method to change it is sending that message to the past, and the world it starts from the beginning of the time of the universe. It starts all over again, and until the message comes. So with that, he prevents a lot of this, and makes his friends happier, but everything has a cost. That's the thing about Steins Gate. The first 10 episodes are very beautiful, and the last ones, sad, dead, sad, and sad. And that's it. Okay, so that's my two favorite mystery anime. So, what are your favorite mystery animes? Have you?
I'm going to be honest. I don't have much animes to talk about in this gender. A few of them will be Death Note. I think that most people now know this anime, but some people mess up with this anime. Is to think that Light and Eol, the main characters, are very smart and genius, and no, they're not. Eol is indeed a genius, a very smart person. He's a detective, but instead, Light is very intelligent in the way that he creates manners to make his goal. Eol is like smarter than no 2 + 2, but Light is like I will make a hole in here. I will pay something, and if somebody enters, I will know who was. Something like that. And to Elda thinks that he's going to tries to catch Kira, that is Light. Spoiler alert. The kid's person is that like that, but he needs to think, and Light El is chasing him, and Light is like running for his life.
I don't think that's a spoiler. That thing, it is said from the very first episode. So what I think about Light is that he's smart, but he already knows the situation, and that's why he most of the cases knows what to tell to El to not be discovered, and El he's just running in a path with no lights, and he still got it. So
Yeah, but I mean about the some situation that he doesn't know, like the police putting cameras in his room and avoiding his privacy, something like that. And also when there's a camera seeing at him and he's eating potatoes, and at the same time like he's writing some names of persons to kill. So that's what I mean, that he's smarter at the way of making things to keep killing without everybody noticing.
I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just L is
I remember.
getting all the pieces to know who's the killer.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, another anime will be Another. That's another is the name of the anime.
Another. That's it.
Another. Well, this anime is about a classroom that has a curse, and some person will die if they don't discover who is the extra. I don't know how it works so much. It's been years that I saw the anime. But the person that is extra, he won't suffer. But all in the classroom will die even if they change to another class. They will die no matter what. And with the thing, they will die at the moment, and with the thing that they have at that moment. The more bizarre death that I saw was
Yes.
with a parachute.
No, the parachute is
Sorry.
is a
Umbrella. The umbrella.
umbrella.
The
Yes, yes,
umbrella.
umbrella.
Umbrella Academy.
Yes, we are model 13.
Yeah. Well, with the umbrella. That time for the girl was not the best. Bless. She was just in the stairs when the time came. The time come up with her death. She was stepping. She was just running the stairs with the umbrella and go.
She's dead.
Yeah, another one.
To the lobby. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's all for the mystery genre. Let's talk about comedy. These animes are supposed to make you laugh, but we have to remember that comedy is subjective, and these animes are airing in TVs in Japan. So if you like black humor, you won't find something funny. So Javier, have you liked some comedy anime, and what do you think?
Well, of course that I have some comedy animes. One example is Kage-sama wa Kakura Satai, or something like that.
This one.
Well, yeah, this one. It's my favorite one. I love it. It's about two teenagers that are in love, but they don't want to confess to the other. They want the other to confess to them. Like, these two people love, but they don't want to confess. You're going to confess to me, you're going to confess to me, but you don't know.
My situation.
Well, They had a theory that one that confesses first is the one who will be mopping the floor. It's a really good anime. I really recommend it. Another anime will be Yashin-chan Dropkick. I really enjoy this anime. It has a lot of reference about other animes. I can't describe this anime, just beautiful. Some it's very funny. It's enjoyable. And you, Brian, what's your favorite anime comedy?
Okay, so I haven't watched a lot of comedy animes, but my favorite one is Konosuba. I have it right here. The English translation for this is Konosuba, God's Blessing and This Wonderful World. So the main story tells about the main character dies, and then he's summoned in another world, and he drags with him the goddess who summoned him. So
Not in very good manners.
no, not very good. And the goddess no longer has her powers, so she's useless. The only thing she can do is party tricks with water.
And run for her life.
Yeah, and run, and being eaten by, um,
A lot of monsters and
yes. Okay, so this comedy anime, the thing I liked is that it doesn't tell jokes in itself, like Pepito jokes or something like that. It is the characteristic of the characters that goes to a ridiculous level and makes it funny. They exploit a characteristic until it's funny, and yeah, it's funny.
the anime itself is a joke.
Yes, yes. Okay, so we are done with the comedy animes.
Okay, now is the turn of talking about shonen or action. The literal translation for shonen is teenager, but an anime is considered shonen when it has a lot of action scenes. Brian, which anime shonen have you watched?
My favorite shonen is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It okay. So the main thing about these animes is that it doesn't have my favorite characteristic of animes, which is mystery, but they are still good. So JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, every season is a different main character, but it follows a bit of a sequence, and it is really entertaining. It has some parts of comedy, and that's it. It's good. So my next shonen anime is Assassination Classroom, and this anime is a bit special. So it has already ended with two seasons. With two seasons, I think. It tells the story of a yellow squid, which he is very fast, and he wants to teach some students some assassination skills
To kill him.
and they and if the students doesn't kill him at time, he will explode the earth. So, and that's it.
Some students trying to kill a monster.
Yes, I think the velocity of the speed of that thing is match 36. I don't know how.
Yeah, me neither. We're not like
Yeah,
experts in that time.
yeah, it is a very large number that they will have to put a name to it.
Yeah.
So, your turn.
Oh. Well, my favorite shonen anime will adopt will be Bleach. It may have a lot of episodes, like 300, more or less, but I really love it. It's like in the same category of Dragon Ball and Naruto, but it's not about the same. For example, in Naruto wants to be stronger, to be a Hokage,
Yes,
to be the king, and then those things.
yeah, stronger.
In Dragon Ball, the Goku wants to be stronger, to beat more enemies, more stronger than him, and man, that cycle,
Yes.
that circle. Well, in Bleach, he wants just to be stronger than necessary, so he can protect his family and his friends. But his friends also want to protect him, so they're equal. The thing that in the anime, the author was so bad, was in bad health, and put an end very fast, a fast end. And when he wanted to continue, he was like, "Oh, I need to do with this that I already made." And well, I'm going to read stories with that, but well, neither fandom, neither the author liked that final of the anime. There were rumors that it will continue this year or the next, but nothing is confirmed. Well, another anime will be Megalobox. It's about a guy that wants to fight, but he doesn't have the equipments. It's like box, but they now don't have gloves. They now have a gadget, a mechanical gadget that are arms here to make the fight more yeah more excited. So
Okay.
like almost killing the band. The thing that he doesn't have money to buy some good gadgets. And in the middle of the fight, his gadget breaks apart, comes down all, and he's like, "Oh no, how am I going to fight like this?" He had some mechanical gadget in his arms with more velocity, more punch, more powerful, and I have just my skinny arms. I'm going to die here. He can't protect himself neither. Well, and about that he learns that he has more velocity of like this, that he kills punch, but he has more agility. So he going to use that to win. Nah, either way, it's not like he could buy another gadget. He doesn't have the money, so that's the only thing that he could do.
This anime reminds me of the movie Atom.
Atom.
Yes, I think.
Okay.
Okay, so and now the last genre, but not less important, is science. It doesn't matter if it's real science or fiction science. These anime are characterized for teaching you useful information. Javier, you know what to do.
Oh yeah. Well, in this genre, I don't have a great list of animes. I remember one, Doctor Stone. In this world, one day to another, every human and some special birds were transformed in stone. Some thousands of years after that, the main character was, in the moment that he was transforming into a stone, he was thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In seconds, he was just counting in seconds. So when he could wake up of that prison of stone, he will have some or less in which year he was. Well, thousands of years passed when he woke up, and a friend too. And some time later, a friend woke up. He learned that the some liquids of the vamp of the Batman of the bats
Yes, but
Batman. Some liquid the bats can do the stone that breaks apart more fastly. He just need to leave the corpse where the liquid is going, and eventually the stone will break apart. But if they have a cup with more liquid and just throw it, well, it will be immediately. But they don't have a exact liquid, and it's not like he can produce it. He needs to wait. Well, they wake up and the environment that they knew is disappeared. Cities, roads, and their homes no, it doesn't exist. There are, yeah, just nature,
forest.
forest, nature. The the whole environment changed. There were more mountains. Well, yeah, like thousands of years without human activity, the nature just progressed.
Less pollution.
Mm-hmm. It was better, but now all the technology that they have to the trash, they doesn't have nothing. The thing is that the main character is a genius. He knows how to create something by the main point, by the first main point with rocks. We're going to use electricity, but first we need a bamboo. Yes, things like that he knows. They There's something very very curiosity is that he also made a coke.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, he also made a coke with vegetables. It was very curious. Well, Brian, tell me, what's your favorite anime of science?
Okay, so I only have watched one anime, science. I checked my list and I only have one. So it's Cells at Work. This anime is from the perspective of our blood cells. Um, it doesn't teach you exactly how. Yeah, yes, I think they teach you how blood cells work, and also knowing about science is a bit boring. So making it entertaining, they just put the white blood cells to fight the virus, and watching blood come out of virus, and blood cells, which are people being scared of blood, the virus. I think it's interesting.
I think that I saw some episodes, but I lost it because I didn't remember the name.
Just so it's cells at work.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't have a special thing with this anime, but we had to talk about this genre, and this is the only one that I watched. So probably after this podcast, I'm going to watch some science animes.